Hey everyone, my name is George Newsome, and this video essay will be regarding the main themes of this course, the beautiful and the monstrous. Throughout the semester, this concept of beautiful and monstrous play a vital role in understanding the writer's evolution regarding their perspective on human nature and the flaws that come along with simply just being human. Kicking off the video, we begin with John Milton, the last great poet of the English Renaissance, with his most significant work, Paradise Lost. Milton narrates the story of Adam and Eve's disobedience and places the story within the context of Satan's own rebellion. Milton showcases the two paths one can take after initial sin, an increasing downward spiral into corruption and immorality, what can be interpreted as the monstrous, represented by Satan, or the path to redeeming oneself, displayed by the actions of Adam and Eve. The beautiful. Here's a quote from Raphael. The discord which befell, and war in heaven among the angelic powers, and the deep fall of those too high aspiring, who rebelled with Satan, he who envies now thy state, who now is plotting how he may seduce thee also from obedience, that with him, bereaved of happiness, thou mayst partake his punishment, eternal misery. This quote goes to show the pride and vanity Satan maintains from his disobedience, and the choice to disobey that lies within Adam and Eve's hands. Next, we discuss the epic poem of Beowulf by an unknown author. The theme of the heroic code of chivalry is the leading theme in Beowulf. Courage, bravery, and the will to fight were considered basic norms of that heroic code. Beowulf sticks to these norms from the very beginning as he comes across the Danes. Beowulf does not hesitate to kill Grendel. The confidence he exhibits is borderline arrogance. He stays true to this code, even when it costs him his life, as exhibited by this quote. In his own homeland, the Thane of Hygelac, the valiant Geat, heard the tales told of Grendel. This Geat was among men the greatest in strength, most noble and mighty, for as long as his life days were destined to last. Moving on to the next era, we discuss the duality of man seen in the strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Stevenson, and the danger of ambition showcased in Frankenstein by esteemed author Mary Shelley. The infamous quote given by Jekyll, "Man is not truly one, but truly two," sums up Stevenson's message. While he indicates the good and evil that one can maintain, he leaves it up to the reader to look into ourselves to determine what we are. Perhaps evil versus virtue, or perhaps our innate desire for chaos versus the mask society wears to fit into the social constructs we've created. That showcases the beauty and ugliness that each of us possess. With Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, we diverge into the theme of human ambition and the drive to accomplish greatness. "So much has been done," exclaimed the soul of Victor. "More, far more will I achieve, treading in the steps already marked. I will pioneer a new way, explore unknown powers, and unfold to the world the deepest mysteries of creation." Dr. Frankenstein's desire to discover the secret of human life ultimately leads to the creation of a monster he despises, as well as his indirect responsibility for the death of his lover and the death of others. Next, we dip into the more postmodern contemporary literary works, Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier and The Garden Party by Catherine Mansfield. Rebecca is riddled with deceit. The unreliability of the narrator perfectly encapsulates the unnerving tone set for the rest of the novel. Whether it's Mrs. Danvers manipulating the narrator to the brink of suicide in this quote, "I won't push you, I won't stand by you. You can jump of your own accord. What's the use of your staying here at Manderley? You're not happy. Mr. De Winter doesn't love you. There's not much for you to live for, is there? Why don't you jump now and be done with it? Then you won't be unhappy anymore." Or Maxim lying about the truth behind his ex-wife's death. In The Garden Party, we are shown the theme of empathy. The Garden Party is as much about class division as it is about the character's awareness of that division. Unlike the rest of her family, over the course of the story, and due in part to the jolt of Mr. Scott's death, Laura begins to develop an awareness of her privilege and tries to consider the world from working-class characters' perspectives. Laura's epiphany at the end of the story demonstrates that empathy and insight into how the other half lives. The awareness Laura gains can be interpreted as something valuable, and therefore beautiful, showcasing the character's dynamic trajectory. So what? What does this all mean anyway? Well, I believe these themes and perspectives shared by these authors are extremely beneficial for learning about ourselves. Self-awareness itself is a skill that must be worked on, and these authors' ability to translate the many facets of human nature and psychology allow us to look within ourselves and challenge our own ideas of the beautiful and the monstrous. Thanks for listening.